Bitcoin falling below 23,000, and joining us now to discuss the crypto markets with us is none other than Howard Greenberg. He's cryptocurrency educator at Prosper Trading Academy. Welcome, Howard. You're looking at total market cap volume right now when it comes to the Bitcoin's rally. Explain why, what significance you see here as to how we got up something like, 40%, 50% over the past few weeks here. And now a slight pullback.
Absolutely. Sorry for that technical delay there. We've seen some volume return. I really like to look at the total market cap to see, is volume returning? Is market makers coming back in? Part of the contagion from FTX really saw, the demise of Alameda, which was one of the largest market makers, but then also Genesis and Jump Capital and some of the others pulling away. And we've seen, the daily volume that last year was running around $115, $120 billion a day really dropped down to 40 billion, more than a 50% decrease. And that decrease also led to a lack of volatility. And we know the traders, especially, active traders, they flock to volatility. So, as we've seen January 1st, it really started to pick back up. Now we're averaging just about 90 billion a day, and daily volume and volatility's picked up with it.
So yeah, obviously we're not back to let's say crisis mode, but nonetheless, it's an increase in volume. First of all, what do you think is driving that volume? I mean, are there specific, are there smaller players, a lot of retail players, or is it a few institutions moving it around? And over the past 24 hours, we've seen a little bit of a sell-off here in Bitcoin and ETH. What do you think's driving that?
Sure. What's really great to see is that CME's Bitcoin futures are at the highest levels that they've been since 2021 right now in open interest. So that signals a Western market, institutional investors are coming back into the market. That's where they tend to play their game. So we are seeing the institutional investors start to return. We saw your sister, corporation there, Genesis trading starting to restart some trading last week. So that's helping, so we are seeing it at the institutional level for sure.
Apparently playing a lot in Bitcoin Cash.
I want to
yeah, I did hear that. That's not the first time that Roger has been accused of not paying his bills to exchanges. There was a pretty famous one in the middle of last year where, again, he had a lot of DeFi money out there that he had no collateral on again, which seems to be the underlying problem in crypto, right? Under collateralization or no collateralization. And he walked on that too. So this isn't the first time that Bitcoin Jesus has been responsible for a little bit of that, craziness going on.
All right, I wanted to take a closer look at the Coindesk Market Index. Among the sectors, culture and entertainment leads while smart contract platforms lag. So you say that's interesting to see that culture and entertainment is the clear leader in sector growth so far in 2023. Why is that?
Well, I think that people are going to where they're seeing the news. It's a little bit more of a fundamental, indication as opposed to technical analysis, where you're seeing, Gala really led the way, huge growth over the last month or so as they've announced partnerships going into film, going into music. There was an announcement with Dwayne Johnson that really got a lot of, momentum going for them. And we've seen Metaverse sort of start to come back. And Metaverse has been a little bit different. I think it was so beaten down that we're seeing a little bit of the reversal to the mean there. So that's where that's coming back. But the products and projects that we're seeing movement on, a lot of times right now are news-led, things that we see positive development going on, news of new releases or hitting roadmap, spots are all really important right now.
So you would think that with the collapse of FTX, a lot of these institutions would be a little bit hesitant to jump back into crypto or even start if they haven't already. How have they overcome this? I mean, you mentioned the CME volume before, and obviously we're seeing this other move in the metaverse. Wouldn't it be difficult for a portfolio manager to say, all right, hear me out. I know we all just lost our shirt investing with this weird kid with the funny hair, but why don't we put some more money into it? How does that work?
I think you have a few things going on. Number one, with Grayscale and GBTC and everything there, whether it becomes, there's a lot of speculation still. Does it get the approval for an ETF? If it does, that discount goes away. So there's been a lot of talk on the streets that some institutional investors are buying GBTC and hedging that bet with the Bitcoin futures on CME. So, sort of the reverse cash and carry play that we saw, so big on 2021. Hedging that way. I also think that, what they've seen is Bitcoin didn't go away, right? There's not been, an implosion like this a few years ago would have had a much bigger drawdown. We found really good support. Now we've really been holding over 20K really well. So I think that starts to bring that, institutional investor back also.
Well, there are a lot of analysts who are saying that Bitcoin could be positioning itself for a higher move if history is any guide. They're making comparisons to Bitcoin's upswing being reminiscent to the 2019 bull revival, and macro trader Geo Chen saying the 2019 rally coincided with a Goldilocks environment of slowing growth and inflation, which caused the Fed to take its foot off the tightening pedal. Do you agree?
I do agree with the Goldilocks, thesis for macro, economic look at things. We did hit almost a perfect level in the last CPI and some of the last economic data. I personally don't think that's going to last much longer. I think we will still see a rocky road through the first half of 2023. I do think 25K is definitely in the picture here on a continued, momentum move. But I do think you're also going to see a lot of profit taking. You got a lot of people that stepped in at 17K and above that now are going to want to take profit, right? It's a pretty nice move from 17 to 25.
All right. Howard, thank you for your insights. That was Prosper Trading Academy cryptocurrency educator, Howard Greenberg.